Hey everyone, and a massive welcome to all you amazing Class 12 students out there. I know exams are just around the corner, and the pressure is definitely on. So today, we're going to tackle a big one, your English core textbook, Flamingo. But listen, we're not just going to reread stuff. We are going to dive into a smarter, way more efficient way to revise that'll make all those key ideas actually stick. Ready? Let's get into it. Ah, yes, the good old Flamingo textbook. You spent a whole year with these stories and poems, right? But now, staring down the barrel of an exam, looking at this whole book can feel, well, a little intimidating. The real challenge isn't just remembering plot points, it's about getting to the heart of what really matters. So, yeah, feeling a little swamped? Like, how on earth are you supposed to revise this whole book and actually remember the important stuff? Look, you're not alone, but here's the secret. The answer isn't about cramming more or reading faster. Nope, it's about completely changing how you look at it. That's why today we're going to ditch the boring chapter summaries and unlock a powerful theme-based strategy. Trust me, it's a total game changer. To really nail this, first, we've got to understand the why. Why these stories? Why these poems? Because this isn't just some random collection of texts thrown together. There's a really clear philosophy behind the whole thing. And boom, here it is. This quote, right from the foreword of your book, is basically the secret key to everything. It tells you the whole point. Every single piece in Flamingo was chosen to connect with real life. It's supposed to make you think about the world and, your place in it. So this isn't just about literature, it's about life. All right, so let's see this in action. The first big group of stories we're going to look at are the ones that basically hold a mirror up to society. They reflect the tough, complicated, and sometimes pretty harsh realities we live in. Okay, first up, Lost Spring. Now, this isn't just a story about two kids named Sahib and Mukesh. No way. It's a deep dive into soul-crushing poverty, stolen childhoods, and the systems that keep people trapped. The most important thing to get here is that these characters aren't just characters. They represent a huge social problem. This image just captures it all, doesn't it? On one hand, you've got these symbols of childhood and innocence, and on the other, the grim reality of hard labor. This isn't just a picture. It's the entire theme of Lost Spring in one frame. It's all about that childhood that's been lost under the weight of just trying to survive. Now let's switch gears to Indigo. We're still talking about social reality, but from a totally different angle. If Lost Spring shows you the problem, Indigo kind of shows you a solution. Yeah, it's a historical story, but the theme is all about leadership and fighting for what's right. Not with fists, but with smarts, with powerful arguments. It's a real story about empowerment. So we've looked at the big picture of society, but Flamingo also zooms right in, all the way into the human heart. The second major theme is all about that personal journey, our internal fights with fear, loneliness, and making the right choices. I love this comparison. It's so brilliant. The book gives us two kinds of traps. In the rat trap, the trap is out there in the world. It's the temptation of money or comfort that can make us dishonest. But in deep water, the trap is completely inside. It's a personal fear, a phobia, that just paralyzes the main character. So, how do you get out of these traps, whether they're inside you or outside? Well, if you look closely, the stories give us a pretty clear answer. It all comes down to connection. It's about our deep need to bond with other people, the incredible power of kindness to change someone, and that basic belief that anyone can find redemption. Okay, time for a little poetry. Now, the poems in Flamingo aren't some separate thing. They actually tackle the exact same big ideas we've been talking about. Social issues, inner demons, human connection. The only difference is how they do it. They boil these huge concepts down into these short, powerful, super emotional bursts. Think of them like little concentrated shots of the book's main messages. And this famous line from Keats really says it all for the poetry section. A thing of beauty is all about how art can give us hope in a pretty tough world. Then you've got My Mother at 66, which explores that fear of losing someone you love, and Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, which looks at the trap of an unhappy marriage. See? Each poem is a little window into these big, universal human feelings. All right, this is the big one. We get the themes, we see the connections, but how does all this actually get you marks on that exam paper? Well, this is where it all pays off. Understanding these themes isn't just for fun, it is literally your best weapon for scoring high. Let's be real, your exam isn't just going to ask what happened in the story. It's going to ask, so what? Why does this matter? Those are your inferential and global questions. They are specifically designed to check if you get the deeper thematic stuff. When you build your answer around a theme, you're telling the examiner, hey, I see the whole picture.
And here it is, a super simple, 3-step formula you can use every single time. For any big question, first, just state the core theme loud and clear. Step 2, back it up with solid proof from the text, a specific quote, a character's action. And finally, and this is the magic step, explain the universal message. Connect it back to that whole life outside school idea. This structure just screams analytical skill.
So, as you wrap up your revision, I want to leave you with this one last thought. It takes us right back to the beginning. The whole point of this book is to connect with your life. So forget about the grades for a second and just think, which character's journey, which struggle, which poem really hit home for you, and why? Figuring that out is the final piece of the puzzle. All the very best for your exams. You are absolutely going to smash it. This is Jasmine, signing off.